Good evening, and thank you for joining us on this Friday night. We begin tonight with that breaking news and those new criminal charges against former President Trump's chief strategist, Steve Bannon. President Trump has directed his allies not to cooperate in the congressional investigation into the deadly assault on the U.S. Capitol in January. And Bannon is among those aides refusing to speak with lawmakers and was indicted today on 2 counts of contempt of Congress. He's expected to turn himself in on Monday. President Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, had until today to respond to a subpoena from those same House investigators. He, too, was a no-show and could now face similar charges. Investigators want to know exactly what President Trump and his advisors were doing and who they were in communication with before and during that violent insurrection as it unfolded. And that's led to an escalating legal battle between Team Trump and House members looking for answers. CBS's Nicole Killian leads us off from Capitol Hill. Good evening, Nicole.
Hey, good evening, Nora. And the reaction tonight from lawmakers was swift. The Select Committee saying tonight that Steve Bannon's indictment sends a clear message to anyone trying to stonewall their investigation that no one is above the law.
Tonight, former White House strategist Steve Bannon is charged with 2 counts of contempt of Congress for failing to comply with a subpoena from the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol. According to the indictment, Bannon did not produce documents and communications and did not appear for a deposition. Each count carries a maximum penalty of up to $1,000 and 1 year in jail. Bannon is the first individual charged in the January 6th probe. The committee alleges Bannon appears to have played a multifaceted role in the events of January 6th and had specific knowledge about them, including this warning on his podcast January 5th.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. It's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen, okay? It's going to be quite extraordinarily different.
This is an important step for the Department of Justice. And I do know people thought it was, a attorney general decision. I suppose ultimately the buck stops with him.
His indictment comes as the former president's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, was a no-show today before the select panel. The committee now threatening him with contempt, too, stating it's unfortunate that Mr. Meadows has chosen to join a very small group of witnesses who believe they are above the law. Mr. Trump is also coming under more scrutiny for defending supporters who called for Vice President Mike Pence's execution, making these comments in an interview earlier this year with ABC News' Jonathan Karl.
No, you heard those chants. That was terrible. I mean, it was,
He could have. Well, the people were very angry.
They're saying hang Mike
Because
Pence.
it's common sense, John.
The Select Committee hasn't indicated how soon it could issue a contempt citation against Meadows. Bannon is set to turn himself in here in Washington Monday. Nora?
Nicole Killian, thank you.